All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm a little busy at work, but I got a request to cover these four. So I'm gonna do a quick video, but I think it'll be a good video. All right, I'm gonna cover NNE and OKLO, one of my favorite stocks to say. I love saying that. We're gonna look at Plug, and then we're gonna look at TEM, TEM. Okay. On the first two, look, I've covered these before, and I dig this sector. I think it's really interesting. It's a good mix of technology and a very, very important secondary play to other really important technology stocks. All right. You need big, big energy to power these quantum computers. You need big, big energy to power the better and the smarter AI brains. The main way to get that kind of level of power is nuclear. And all of a sudden, we have a new president that's a lot more lenient on non green tech, right? I don't necessarily know if they're trying to pitch nuclear as like green and safe, but for sure, it's a flood of more power than any other solution can give, right? So NNE literally has the word nuclear in it. Oklo actually is a nuclear play as well. And again, it's such a fun stock to say, Oklo, Oklo. And I don't know if you saw it or not, but look, they're both basically testing the golden line. They're both basically looking to break out into all-time highs and have some solid lower indicators, all right? The next one's Plug. And hey, I mentioned it on a live video. I went so big on Plug right here. It was this early January. I loved the battle of trying to get over that 200 moving average. And man, I just saw the 450. I saw all the potential red that could have turned into some nice green, right? The issue with Plug was really twofold. Number one, excuse me, look, around the 6th is where this starts to drop. Around the 6th is where NASDAQ started to drop. So this had a little bit to do with the NASDAQ itself. And then really, I think Plug Power is actually a green good, and I don't want to use the word good. I think that's too objective. It's a little bit more green for a non-green energy president. You know what I mean? So I think it's just getting a little bit of a tough back-to-back reaction of index couldn't do it, and then president seems a lot more lenient on other, energy sources. You know what I mean? So not liking the candles here too, right? And then Tem. Look, I will for sure talk about the technicals in a second. The two things I'm going to say here. Number one, there's not a lot of history here. So there's advantages and disadvantages to that, all right? I think more importantly with this stock, listen, you should never buy or sell because someone else did that or because someone else told you, right? No one cares about your money except for you. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it when people do well, right? Like it does make me happy when people do well. I'm not here to hate on that. I celebrate success, right? But hey, outside of that rare little anomaly, no one cares about your money but you, okay? So don't just react because someone bought, all right? But my goodness, the Nancy Pelosi news, just look at this thing. This was by far the biggest volume ever, right? And I think that's for sure what I'm going to be looking at tomorrow, all right? So quick thoughts here. I'm going to run through a couple more thoughts on the next section, but yeah, just a good quick video here, all right? So before we do go any further though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There's none here, but I think there are some on the first ones. Yeah, there are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it, all right? So, look, Oklo and NNE are basically the exact same thoughts, all right? As I zoom out, you can see this golden line. Clearly, all-time highs is way up here, right? Clearly, we've had a better green candle that's all the way up here. This is my golden line. This is the line that I need to break to believe we are going into all-time highs and beyond, right? We tried here, couldn't confirm, tried here, couldn't confirm. We are once again trying here. I really like these lower indicators. I like the MACD and the RSI divergence. Nice big break of the 50-day line. This is setting up pretty well on the daily. This is setting up pretty well on the weekly. And looky, we just basically formed the red line on the MACD, and that looks nice. And hey, RSI is also trying to creep as well on the weekly. So I'm liking the daily and the weekly on NNE. And again, I think I just like the non-green energy story, as well as the incredible amount of power and energy nuclear can bring. And I can see Trump trying to be the nuclear leader in the world, right? I could see that being a play that he tries to do, right? So I'm really liking the setup here with Oklo. Really, it's the exact same thing, right? We've tried. What I like is it tried to go from resistance to maybe support. I think the 20 moving average did a little bit more than this line, but you can see it this entire run from early to mid-October till basically today. We've gotten over it a couple times. We just can't break this line and take off, right? So this is a solid attempt, and yeah, if we can get over MACD, RSI, and volume look just as good as NNE. I think the one maybe extra thing that Oklo has that NNE doesn't is Sam Altman, right? So Sam Altman is the Chat GPT dude. Sam Altman is a investor only. He's not like on the board or anything like that, but if that dude has money in this company, I'm sure he's willing to make a phone call or two. And in the scheme of important names, his name is quickly climbing that ladder. You know what I mean? So they have that in the back pocket. But yeah, really, just give me a little more volume. Give me a good confirmation, right? Good candle, no confirmation, not enough. That's a good first one. Give me more. And I think my favorite part of this is we are over the biggest candle to the left by a lot here, right? So I'm liking the setup on the daily here. I'm liking the setup on the weekly here. This actually looks like a better daily weekly confirmation right here. And really, like I said, I'm liking the sector. I'm liking how these two work. I don't know if there's any other nuclear plays, but yeah, shoot me a comment if there's any other tickers to throw into this one. All right, so let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Plug power. This one has a good regular amount of volume. Like this one pushes anywhere from 100 million to the 70 million that we see today, right? Like I think that's a pretty good even number of average number of volume, and that's big volume. All right. What's tough right now is this. I feel like I haven't talked about this in a while. Clusters of moving averages are hard. A cluster of three, a cluster of four. My goodness, this is a cluster of all five, right? We did pretty well with this cluster of four. We were able to come to the top of it. But yeah, lo and behold, they've now all mixed, and basically all five lines are within a stone's throw away from each other, right? So I really love this setup right here. I'm telling you, I thought after the sixth we were going to take off. It was a little quick and easy for me to give it up. We lost more than 50% candle. Couldn't really do the follow through that I would have. This is a good break and confirm right here, right? So definitely didn't do the follow through that I would have expected. And yeah, lo and behold, some bad things have happened since, right? But I saw it. Believe me, this is a good attempt. But just as I zoom out, I mean, it's been really hard to get over the 200 moving average. And I mean, as nice as those two were, I think it goes to show you why that's such a tough line right here, all right? Look, I've seen it spit them up and suck them back in. I can see it spitting us down and then sucking us back up too. I mean, there's a couple, like at this point, I feel like we're at the mercy of the five lines. And for me, I would just rather watch it just do something good and attack versus, be at the mercy of the lines. I don't know how else to say it, right? I think I would love this thing around 290, 288, 287 is kind of where I'm clicking right now, right? But get me a little closer to 3, and I mean, again, from there the next line is 330. That's another 10%, and then from there 5 something, 4 something, right? So It's just too many moving averages too close to each other. There's nothing more to really say about that. That's really good volume. It is. There are stocks that will never hit 70 million shares in a full week, maybe in a full month. You know what I mean? So volume's not the issue here. And you can actually see the line was down here. The line's actually raising a little bit, that 50-day line, right? So there is actually an influx of volume coming too, but yeah, it's not enough to break the MAs. There was a decent uptrend, obviously. Yeah, to me, my focus is still the MAs, all right? If the daily is that clustered, the weekly is going to be at least a little clustered, and yeah, we've got a cluster of three going on. I think the difficulty of the 50 moving average just echoes a little bit more than that daily decency we saw, right? Like this looks like a pretty decent attempt. That weekly actually doesn't. Right, there's a baby wick there and a baby wick here. A baby wick here and a doji here. Right, so neither look as good as the daily kind of misleadingly did. Right, so disappointing, I'll tell you that. But this is why we're not here to fall in love with stocks. Right, they either do what they're supposed to do or hit eject and find the next 4, 3, 5, whatever letters. Right, so let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. This is the last one we're going to end it on. TEM. All right, number one, I like AI. I do. I like technology stuff. I think AI isn't as hot as it used to be at one point, but yeah, I mean it's still right behind quantum in very many arguable ways, right? What really went off with this one was the fact that Nancy Pelosi bought. Listen, I don't care if the CEO, CFO, I don't care if some random YouTuber named Chart Readers, right? Like, don't buy because someone else does, right? Buy because you have a trading strategy and so on and so forth, right? Um, I see good and I see bad here. All right. And really I think that it's gonna dictate on volume. Today was 3x the biggest day ever, right? We were basically in the 11, 10 million range as our biggest day. All of a sudden we're at 33, right? So basically 3x monster day. If we fall back down to 10 million, if we lose 66% of volume, I wouldn't be surprised to see this fall back down to 45, maybe even as low as 43. I could see those two. Oh, that's actually the whole can. I think 45 should hold then. Maybe 44 to 45 would be the way down. If we were to lose 43, we will quickly fall back down to 38, is what I would say. I would like this stock if we can basically get over something like that, maybe 51.30. That's actually not that bad a line. I think I would draw that line, right? I basically took the bottom of that. It's almost a half of that. It's almost the top and the bottom of that. It's actually almost perfectly half of that. If we can get over 51 something, green, 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 red, 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 nothing, nothing, green, 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 red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 nothing, nothing, right? I think we can make a nice little climb towards the 60 right there. And that's basically a 20% move right there. That's a tough break right there. This stock has not been alive for 200 days. There are only four moving averages when you look in the box over there. Those are the last two of the four. Like that's a difficult cluster to get over. Okay. If we can do it, it's going to be because volume's going to stay and we'll have at least 25 million shares, right? If I want 25 million shares in a 7-hour trading day, we better be close to 7 million shares by that second hour. All right, so a cool Nancy Pelosi hype, a beautiful 35% day. Some people actually even caught it in the after. Like, I will show you 41. I don't really understand 24-hour trading, but there was screenshots of this moving overnight, that 20%, because this is a 24-hour ticker, right? I don't really understand how that works too much, but yeah, some people actually caught most of that because of the Pelosi, right? And again, good for you, right? I'm never here for that pump and dump, that single pop, right? I want a sustained uptrend. I think getting over 51 is going to make me believe that'll come. Holding volume tomorrow is probably going to be the ultimate answer here, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much.